hand on the throttle, and full power. All right, all the way up, all the way up. There you go. So you'll see here's that right rudder that you need. Really good, engine and instruments are in the green. You're just tracking down the runway with the rudder pedals, a little bit of back pressure and she'll want to fly. There you go, a little more back pressure. All right, there you go. And remember, just hold that nose on the horizon, just like that.
Okay.
You're flying, dude. Little nose, a little higher. There you go.
So am I trying to match the tip of the nose to the horizon?
Yeah, right about there. Just about where you've got it set is fine.
Okay.
It's really good, actually. Make sure that right hand stays on the throttle. There you go. All the way in. There you go. Excellent. What do you think?
That's pretty awesome.
You're doing good. And Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 66 Kilo, right turn out from the pattern departing to the northeast, Boulevardy. Cool, so at about 500 feet above the ground, we're going to retract those flaps. So as you maintain where your nose is, you're going to reach down here, push the button on the flap handle, and slowly let them down. There you go. Just like that, excellent. See how the nose kind of creeped up on you?
Yep.
Don't sweat that. You've got to kind of multitask. Multitasking's a pretty good skill for a pilot. You've got to watch where that is as you manipulate the controls. But you're doing excellent here. All right. How's the control forces field? Are you having to hold a lot of forward or back pressure?
I'm having to hold a little bit forward.
Okay. So let go just a bit.
Okay.
Okay, I see you. Yep, just a little bit forward. Here's how we can fix that. We reach up here with the right hand and crank it to the left just a little bit at a time until the forces on the yoke are neutral. You don't have to touch it. Right about there should be good. And you can go hands off. There you go. The nose stays right where you want it.
Okay.
And the airplane flies itself. So now you can use a nice light little touch and we'll roll off to the right there. And that's a good bank right there. Beautiful morning.
Yes, it is. Nice and clear.
Uh-huh.
Traffic,
there you go. Keep on going a little bit to the right. A little hazy, but that won't be a problem. If you look off to the right, you can see the runway.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Remember those fields around the airport. We'll want to use those, and we'll straighten up right here. At 1,000 feet, you know, after we've taken off 1,000 feet above the ground, we want to turn our fuel pump off.
Okay.
So fuel pump comes off. That was the one right there. It's an easy one to forget, but definitely want to do that.
Traffic, turning final for runway 36.
See how smooth it is?
Yeah.
You can see it doesn't take much to control it. What we just flew through is a boundary layer. Basically, there's a temperature inversion, and let's see, it will be warmer air below cooler air. So, oh wait a minute, no, that would be, yeah, cooler air below warmer air. So the temperature actually rose as we climbed up in altitude instead of decreased. And the winds are higher up here, so that's why we're getting a bit of a buffet.
Gotcha.
There you go. If it was a clear day, you could actually see downtown San Antonio from here. Really easily, actually. But for now, let's try to turn off to the left. You can kind of make out Canyon Lake out there.
Okay.
So yeah, just look at Canyon Lake, look into your turn, and nice shallow bank towards it. Cool. Now you can do a little bit more bank.
Here's all traffic to top report 28 Alpha Charlie left base 31 full stop.
There you go. This is a standard rate turn right here. Is the term. You can tell it's standard rate because this little guy is on that indicator. That's more for instrument flight, but you know, this is a nice standard turn for us to use.
Gotcha.
We can level off here, so I want you to straighten up and push the nose forward until it's a fist's length, you know, below the horizon. So you can literally hold your fist up and then push forward with your left hand until the horizon's right up there on your fist. There you go. Push forward.
Oh, that was about a fist for me.
It is? Oh, of course, you're sitting higher.
Yeah.
We'll push forward just a bit more then. Bit more. Almost there. Almost there. There you go.
Right there?
Right there. So you go pitch, and you got to hold it there. So push forward. And then I'm working your power out, and I'll bring it back to around, 23, 24 or so.
Victor's left downwind for 35.
There you go. So there's 24. There's 23. And now, are you having to hold it forward?
Yes.
There you go. So crank to the left until it's neutral. Can you let go? There you go. And now look out to your wings. See how they're, how they look compared to the horizon. See there how there's, the same distance. When you, roll like this, you can see that one goes up to the horizon. That one goes up to the horizon. That's a handy way to tell when you're looking outside, if you're level or not.
Okay.
All right. So, believe it or not, straight and level is the toughest thing to do in flying because you do it the most. So, it gets tedious and, you don't keep track of stuff. So, right now, we're at 3,700 feet above sea level. So, what I'd like to do is eventually I'll get you to the standard where you can hold within about 50 feet of this altitude. Of course, right now, you're right smack dab on it. You see how easy it is.
Yeah.
Other days it might be bumpy, or you get turbulence, or you forget to check, so it might raise off of it or go high or low. That's okay as long as you catch it and correct it.
Gotcha.
Cool. Now let's get a nice turn to the left here, but before we do, you see on the artificial horizon here, you've got little markings.
Yep.
It's 10, 20, 30 degrees. The dot's 45, and the last line's 60 degrees.
Okay.
I want you to put me in a 30-degree bank. So you just look outside, roll the airplane until what you think is 30 degrees. I'll help you out with some back pressure here. A little bit more. A little bit more.
Well, that's quite a bit more than I would have expected.
Yeah, really. And that's 30-degree bank right there.
Okay.
Now check this out. See how the nose wants to drop? Give it a bit of back pressure to keep the nose on the horizon where you had it. We use our lift to turn. But when we turn, some of the lift that would normally keep us in the air is directed off to the side, so the nose wants to drop. We're losing what's called the vertical component of lift.
Okay.
So we've got to add a bit of back pressure to fix that. All right, now we level off here. Excellent. Or see, we're right here at 3,500. Let's try and maintain 3,500 in our turn.
Okay.
So let's get a right turn here.
Right turn?
Yep.
30 degrees still?
Yeah. So just look outside and set a nice bank, just like that. And here's the back pressure. There you go. And not too much, not too little. It's just got to find that sweet spot. And you're holding it really nicely.
Worship Bay traffic clear 453 Alpha is approximately 10 miles from Nikki, inbound runway 17.
There you go. Increase the bank a bit, and of course increase the back pressure along with it. Increase the bank a bit, and pull back. Increase and pull back, and keep it going. A little more back pressure for that amount of bank. Doing good. You're going to get pushed down into your seat. That's normal. Just like that. You're at a steep turn right now. That's what I want you to hold. Up, a little too steep. Roll it out just a little.
Okay.
See how much back pressure you really need, otherwise we descend? Yeah, there you go. That's about 2 Gs right there. Almost 2 Gs, at least on that pull out. So you weighed about twice as much as you normally do. Here, and you can roll out here facing towards the lake. There you go. Aha! I gotcha. We weren't using those rudder pedals.
I was not.
So I'll show you why those rudder pedals are important. These are the rudder coordination exercises I was telling you about. So we're going to roll the airplane like this.
Okay.
And watch where the nose goes. See how it's swinging around? You give that a shot.
Okay, so.
Yep. See how it's doing that sort of thing?
Yep.
When we roll to the right, that aileron goes down and it creates drag that pulls the wing to the left. So the way we fix that is with the rudder. Now check this out. When I roll to the left with the rudder, the nose stays right where I want it. When I roll to the right, the nose stays right where I want it. And back to the left. I feel like I'm getting pulled down into the middle of my seat, right? Instead of getting thrown off to the side or something. Now you give that a shot.
Okay.
And just, try it with the rudder. I'll take that from you. There you go. There you go. And as you're rolling, hold that nose on the horizon. There you go. Sometimes these maneuvers can make people queasy, so if they do, let you know. But that's why I'm letting you do it, so you know what to expect when you control it. How do you feel?
I'm doing all right.
All right, excellent. Out of 1 to 100, how would you say you're at?
Probably about 95.
95, just a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, okay. Well, here, the way we fix that is fly nice and smooth. Just nice and smooth like that. And you look out into your turns. Look far away to the horizon.
Okay.
There you go. That looks really cool with that layer there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Horseshoe Bay traffic clear 453 Alpha.
So you can hear that we, we can hear a bunch of different airports on 122A besides Bulverde. Multiple airports use that frequency to talk with each other. And there's no control tower or anything at our airport. We just, announce our intentions.
Okay.
There are other airports out there, like New Braunfels or something, where they do have a control tower. So we, call them up and say, hey, we're 3466 Kilo with this information, and we'd like to, do pattern work or something.
Okay.
And they'll say, sure, fly here and report this, and yeah. And you say, yeah, we'll fly here, report this. So radio communications aren't a big deal. Did you ever use the radio much in the military?
Nope.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you do any computer gaming or anything?
Yeah.
Yep. Use Ventrilo or TeamSpeak or something?
Yep.
Just think of it as TeamSpeak. What do you play?
Not much anymore, but used to do a lot of World of Warcraft.
Ah, there you go. I didn't do much for the MMORPGs and all that sort of stuff. I do FPSs and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Steam is my enemy. Those summer sales. I need money. Cool. All right, this will be really cool. So, you see these little white, puffy looking clouds here as we're kind of flying through them? They're light and we can see through them, but if they're any thicker, we'd want to avoid them.
Okay.
You have what's called VFR cloud clearances. This will be really cool because it gives you a nice little sensation of speed, for how fast we're going. We're going 110 miles an hour up here, or almost 110. So there's a little cloud. Whee! There you go.
Horseshoe Bay traffic clear 453 Alpha, 5 mile final, runway 17. Horseshoe Bay.
Excellent. And here's the thing, if you can see through it, that's good. That's okay, as long as you can visually scan for traffic. If you can't see through it, don't fly through it.
Gotcha.
Excellent job. All right, we've got 922. So a few things out here. So of course, Canyon Lake.
Okay.
There's a little Canyon Lake Airport up there. We're trying to get, to go there and all that sort of stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. I want to show you slow flight. You're doing these turns really well. I'll show you how the airplane performs as we're flying slowly.
Okay.
So I'll set you up here for slow flight.
Okay.
The way we do that, I'll just pull the carb heat first since there's moisture in the air. I just pull the engine down a little bit. As we get into this white arc more, that means it's safe to put down the flaps.
Okay.
So I'm going to put down the flaps and you can feel how that changes the way the airplane performs. Carb heat back in and power back in. Back up to around there. And now add in some nose up trim.
Okay.
Yep, to the right then. Or sorry, to the left now. Yeah. There you go, keep cranking. Until you don't have as much back pressure on the stick. Or the yoke. Keep cranking. Keep cranking a bit. There you go. Keep cranking.
What am I shooting for?
Just feel for how much you're having to hold back on the yoke here.
I'm not having to hold it anymore.
Here.
All right.
Well, that's because I'm holding it.
Oh, okay.
You
Gotcha.
grab it.
Gotcha.
There you go. Keep going. Keep cranking. You'll have to crank quite a bit. Yep. And you feel the forces get lighter and lighter.
That's max, I think. Not wanting to move anymore.
Okay, well that's fine. And that's just where you'll have to hold it.
Okay.
So this is the kind of attitude you'll be in when you're landing.
Okay.
So give it a nice slow roll to the left and right. Nice and slow. See how sluggish it feels?
Uh-huh.
That's, that's simply because you've got, less authority with the control surfaces. So we're moving through the air a lot slower. One thing to note is that at stall speed, or, at slow flight, you're a lot closer to your stall speed.
Okay.
And then when you bank, you increase your stall speed actually.
Okay.
Because you remember how we weighed more?
Uh-huh.
It felt like we weighed more?
Yep.
Well, the airplane also feels that, so it's got to create more lift to overcome that.
Okay.
So to create more lift, it's got to have a greater angle of attack, and it becomes that much closer to critical angle of attack. We'll go into a little bit more detail on that during some ground lessons, but suffice to say, if we were to bank 30 degrees right now and pull hard, the wings would buffet and stall.
Okay.
So that's why we want to make, shallow turns when we're going nice and slow.
Gotcha.
But you're doing really well here. One thing I also want to show you is that we're in what's called the region of reverse command. So see how we're a little bit above 3,000 feet and slightly climbing?
Uh-huh.
The way we would normally fix that in cruise flight is just drop the nose a bit.
Okay.
But we want to maintain the same speed. We want to stay at about 60 miles an hour.
Okay.
So we are actually going to pull the power out.
Okay.
And then maintain that airspeed. Yeah, just like that. And right there. That's good on the power. Actually, maybe a little more. I'll get that for you. And now you're going to maintain 60 miles an hour by, lowering or raising the nose just a little. Just like that. So you look outside, you set the nose somewhere, and then you look. And you say, okay, I'm a little below 60. Drop the nose a little more. A little more. Right there. And we're just about on 60. Close enough for me. And we've got a very shallow descent going.
Okay, so we'd add a little bit of power.
Oh, that's exactly what we want. In fact, pull the power out more. Okay. We're going to aim for 3,000 feet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
There you go. And you're using your pitch to maintain that airspeed. So you're dividing your attention between up there and down here. And while you're doing this, you're also looking out around to the left and right, keeping your head on a swivel.
Okay.
There you go. Getting down to that little bit of wind shear. Cool. So let's level off here. So normally you'd want to pull back to level off, but we can't because we're already so slow.
Okay.
So now you just add power back in. I'd say make it about 19 or so, 19 to 20. There you go. Nice job. A little bit more power. So here we're using power to control altitude and pitch for airspeed.
Okay.
It's the exact same thing we're going to do on final approach.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let's get a shallow turn off to the left there. Right about there is great. No more than that. It'll take a while. You feel free to use that rudder to help you around. There you go, and hold that back pressure. You want to maintain altitude. There you go. See how as the nose dropped, we went a bit above 60? And as you pulled it up, we went a bit below. That's exactly what you want to see. Look down. Look at look down, and you can see how the wind is really affecting our movement across the ground. We're getting pushed off in this direction about. So that's one thing that's really important is what's called crab angle. Even though the nose is pointed this way, we're flying that way because of the winds. We also have to do that on final, and then we would fix that with what's called a crosswind correction. But we'll cover that a little bit later.
Okay.
All right. How are you feeling? Still feeling good?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
Excellent, excellent. What do you think so far?
This is pretty amazing.
All right, man. You're flying a machine in the air at 3,000 feet. And it is you. I am off the controls, and you're doing a really good job. Cool. Now here's another thing I want to show you about this region of reverse command. We're going to go full power here.
Okay.
And what you'll see is that when you go full power, the airspeed will actually decrease.
Okay.
If you hold the nose in the same place, or hold the same amount of back pressure, I should say. So holding the yoke where it is, we go full power, and you'll watch the airspeed actually decrease, which is counterintuitive. Full power. There you go. And you see how the nose climbs and the airspeed decreases?
Yep.
And that's why we call it the region of reverse command. So now we lower the nose, get that airspeed back. Feel free to drop it down a bit.
Okay.
There you go. You can go hands off actually, and now we'll see what it does. Well, there's that nose up trim. We'll put in some nose down trim for you. Right about there, you say. Yeah. And now we're going to do what's called a go around.
Okay.
Although technically we're not really climbing right now, you can see we don't have a lot of airspeed. We've got full flaps in, we're not even really climbing. This is why we don't take off with full flaps.
Gotcha.
So we're going to very slowly and smoothly, while flying just like this, retract these flaps, okay?
Okay.
So you push the button and just slowly let them down. Oh, be careful with that aileron. You don't want to use that too much. Nice job. And now, we want to keep it at 3,000 feet, just like you did earlier. Pitch, power, and trim. So simultaneously pull that power out. Pull the power out first.
Okay.
Hold that nose down. Strong arm that sucker. Get it down. You the boss, man. Power's good right there. Now use some of that trim, nose down trim, just like that. And keep it cranking until it's neutral. There you go. See how we're still climbing very slightly? You can set the nose down just a little lower, just like that, and retrim if you need it. There you go. Cool. So you see how we come up just a few hundred feet high there? If we do it quicker, we can get it, right where we want it.
Gotcha.
But don't sweat it today. That's perfectly fine. That's really good actually. So now we're going to turn back off to the left again.
Okay.
There you go. Right about, let's say here. This is good. There you go. So you see as it speeds up, it still wants to creep up. So you hold the nose down first. In fact, set it a little lower so you can descend down to where we want.
Okay.
And now trim it up, or down, excuse me, just like that, until it's neutral. Perfect. You can let go. There you go. Now, since we're pointed down a bit and we're descending, the RPM has revved up a little bit. You can kind of hear it.
Yep.
That's, you know, we can manage that maybe, just like that, just a little bit of twist back in the RPMs. As we get back down to 3,000, we might want that back.
Okay.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. So let's try a little bit of orienteering here. Let's see. So Canyon Lake is behind us, right?
Okay.
Which way do you think we're heading?
So if it's behind us, we should be heading south, right?
If the sun's behind us, we're heading which way?
Sorry, we should be heading west.
Exactly. We're heading west. There you go. That's good common sense to use. Where's the sun at?
Okay.
So if we're heading west, Canyon Lake's over here. That means 281's in front of us. We're going to fly over it soon, somewhere up there. Bulverde is, of course, in 281. So we know Bulverde is to the south, somewhere over there. Because if it was to the north, we'd be over San Antonio right now. And that wouldn't make much sense, and it'd be kind of bad because they've got airspace down there. So we know Bulverde's to our south. So somewhere over there. So let's go ahead and turn that way.
Okay.
There you go. Right about there is good. There you go. Use that rudder, even when you're just barely using the aileron. There you go. So the nose wants to creep up on you a little bit because as we descended, the airspeed increased. So now you just hold the nose where you want it. You're good. Can you let go? There you go. I want to show you something.
Okay.
First off, we're actually going to swap the tanks here.
Okay.
So I'll turn the fuel pump on.
Okay.
And see the fuel switch here? I'm going to put it onto the right tank, just like that. I'm going to show you how stable these airplanes are.
Okay.
So one thing, you see, the right tank is fuller than the left tank, so it's naturally tending to the right.
Okay.
But lean forward with me here. Like all the way up here.
Okay.
And watch how the nose wants to drop.
Okay, yep.
And now lean back. You'll see how, let's keep the little left bank in there just to stay straight. How as we come back here, the nose is going to want to rise.
Uh-huh.
It's going to oscillate like that until it kind of dampens itself out.
Gotcha.
Until it's smooth. And once we swap the tanks, we can turn the fuel pump off. Let's start heading back down south that way. And we'll hold this altitude. So a little bit of back pressure in that turn. There you go. We'll head right there. There you go. So right rudder and right aileron. There you go. Use both of them. Cool. So now as we get down, you'll see those bumps start to come up. And here's where you make just little tiny controls to beat it. And it'll fly nice and level. Otherwise, they will bump you around a little bit and they'll make you queasy. And you're feeling good?
Yep.
Excellent.
Good.
Sorry, gotta check. Cool, cool, cool. Excellent job, dude. So what we're gonna do here is, let's see, we've covered slow flight, we've covered, turns, let's see, rudder coordination. I'm gonna talk you into the descent and set you up for the traffic pattern at the airport.
Okay.
I'll talk you through it as best I can, and we'll see if we can't set you up for a landing here. Now, I might help you out on this landing a little bit, but I do want you on the controls for it to feel what I'm doing.
Okay.
to set us up here. But you'll fly us back to the airport.
Okay.
So you see we just passed over 281. And remember those fields by the airport? See some fields out there? About 10 o'clock or so?
Okay.
Those are those same fields. You got them?
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not used to this perspective at all.
yeah, really. it takes getting used to. We're actually going to do what's called pilotage, or dead reckoning.
Okay.
So using landmarks, like say highways or airports or whatnot, we'll be able to orient and navigate somewhere.
Okay.
And then we'll adjust for the winds and things like that, and we'll arrive exactly where we planned on it.
Okay.
Which is important because we know our fuel burn. So like right now we're burning maybe about 10 gallons an hour.
Okay.
So if we say it'll take yada yada minutes to get here, we know exactly how much fuel burn we have, we know our range, and we know where we need to be down by so we still have fuel for the engine.
Okay.
So important little skills like that. So after we get you soloed, we'll start working on things like navigating, cross-country flying, all that sort of fun stuff.
Okay.
All right, so it's tough to see, but right out there is Camp Bullis. You see these green fields off here to the left? We're going to fly towards those.
Okay.
Bull 30 traffic, Cherokee 3466 Kilo is about 10 miles to the north, inbound for a left downwind for a 34, Bull 30.
There you go. Nice job maintaining that altitude, 3,000 feet. And really, the trick is to have a good scan. You spend most of your time looking outside and make quick darts inside the cockpit to look for things. Don't stay heads down. Because, how would we know if we were flying into a flock of birds or clouds and things? All right. Anything feel weird to you or anything? Like with the controls, anything?
I'm still getting used to the rudder
traffic,
controls.
Mananza 7173, November's on 4 mile.
I'm still getting used to the rudder controls.
Yeah. Well, here, we can practice with that. Roll to the right and use the rudder.
Okay.
There you go. And back to the left. Even with a little bit of bank, you're going to want a little bit of rudder to help you out. Now back to the right. There you go. That's good right there. That is definitely a feel. Anytime you move these, you should be moving your feet. There you go. See how feel it on the pedals? Just barely touching it. All right, so now we're going to set up for the descent to land.
Okay.
So first thing I want you to do is pull the carb heat, and then we'll pull the power to around 1700 or so. There you go. Just working it back like that, exactly. And right there's great. And now, for the descent, you just hold your nose right about here. If you need any trim to help it stay there, feel free to put that in. Maybe nose up trim. Yeah, not too much though. Hands off. Perfect. If you can take your hands off, you know you've trimmed it right.
Okay.
That's a really good tool for you're setting up your landing approach. The airport's over here, those bit of buildings by the left wing, so we're going to turn towards that.
Okay.
There you go, so just give me a nice little left turn there.
Bull ready, traffic Cherokee 66 Kilo is setting up for the 45 left downwind 34, Bull ready.
And see that lake? We're going to turn right over that lake and parallel our runway.
Okay.
There you go, so pull up a bit, just a little. And right here we'll level off. Carb heat's in, and I'll add your power. So we're entering what's called the traffic pattern.
Okay.
So we're going to fly straight like this for a bit, and then once we get closer and closer to the runway, we're going to turn right to parallel it. Okay. So the runway's running this way, We'll turn right and you'll see it off on your left. And I'll help you know when to stop and stuff. There you go. Good job maintaining that altitude. All right, turn right.
Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 66 Kilo, left downwind 34, Boulevardy.
Right about here. There we go, now we look out to the runway. And you see where it is on the wing? We're a little far out, but that's okay. Right here, will be our touchdown point. I want you to pull the power out back to 1700 or so.
Where at?
1700.
17?
There you go. And the trick here is you're doing multiple things, setting the power and holding your heading. That's really good. We're in this wide arc here. So you can pull this up 1 notch. There you go. Keep flying straight. And the trick is look to your left without pulling the airplane to your left. There you go.
5 miles from the northeast, be crossing midfield.
Really good, really good.
31 full stop. McKinley first traffic.
Now give me a nice little shallow left turn. Point us towards that gas station on the left wing. There you go. See where your nose is? You want to maintain that position. That's maintaining your speed. If it dropped, we'd speed up. If it pulled up, we'd slow down. You're maintaining it really well.
I will stay out of the pattern until you guys clear.
Okay, and we're just coming across south of town.
Now we're what's on oh, a little more bank.
And 4.3 miles in the field. McKinley first traffic.
Right there. Nice job dealing with the bumps.
I can see you guys. I'm passing to your right.
Now that we're on base, we add a next notch of flaps and trim.
Okay, good. I don't have you in sight yet.
Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 66 Kilo, left base 34, Boulevardy.
Are you hands off? A little bit nose up trim. That's good. Now shallow turn on to final. There you go. This is all you. You just want to point us at the runway here. There you go. A little bit of back pressure to bring you onto the runway there. Coordinated use of the rudder and aileron. There you go.
Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 66 Kilo, final 34, Boulevardy.
There you go. Not so much big corrections. You won't need it. I'll add in your last notch of flaps there. See how the nose wants to drop?
Yep.
You get a bit of nose up trim. Now the ground will come up kind of fast here. We're a little fast, but that's okay. We point the nose at the runway.
Okay.
What's called an aiming point. And remember, nice tiny corrections. We're actually going to want, you know, maybe a little bit of right aileron here.
Okay.
There you go. So here, hand on throttle, pulling it to idle. And now we're in the flare, right aileron. There you go. And hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. There you go. There you go, man.
Awesome.
Excellent. Excellent job. And we'll need a bit of right rudder here. There you go. Just maintain right in the middle.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so I'll retract your flaps for you. We'll go all the way down to the end and use that bigger area to turn around in.
Okay.
So you saw what we did is as we got over the runway and we knew we had the runway made, we pulled the power all the way to idle.
Okay.
And then we made a shallow, what's called a flare, and we held it off the runway. We could have held it off a little longer, but, you know, that'll come. That'll come. That was still a really nice and smooth touchdown. So that was good.
Getting used to controlling through the foot pedals is...
It's going to be, it's fun. It's fun.
Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 66 Kilos, back taxiing, runway 34, Boulevardy.
There you go. So right hand on the throttle. Just a little bit of power to help us get around the turn here, and then, you know, we maintain taxi speed. There you go. And full left pedal, and a little less power. Full left pedal. There you go.
Even more. Okay.
Exactly. There's a lot more. So she's pretty capable on the ground. There you go. All right, man. What'd you think?
That was pretty fantastic.
That was a really good job. I was barely on controls for any of that. I helped you a little bit on the landing flare. You're pulling to the left a lot with the aileron. That's okay. You're on that quite a bit. You always want a nice smooth grip on it, so you don't pull to the left.
Okay.
And that will come with experience. We're going to make this first right turn off here, so just manage the brakes nice and smooth. In fact, practice with the brakes here. Slow us down just a bit. Using both?
Oop.
Oh, there you go. Avoid the light there. Push on both.
Okay. Oop.
There you go. Just getting used to them is all. And stop us right up here. There you go, just past this little line. Perfect.
Boulevard traffic, Cherokee 66 Kilo is clear of 34. Boulevard.